Hi, welcome to Communication Applications. I'm Miss Redondo. So I am going to be your teacher this year for Comm Apps and Math. It's actually two separate courses, and I'm going to be explaining the difference between the two in a few minutes. But first, I wanted to tell you a little bit about me. I went to school at Florida International University and Florida Atlantic University. I have degrees in broadcast journalism and in education. This is going to be my 15th year teaching. I did my first 10 years in South Florida, and this will be my 5th year teaching here in Texas. My certifications include ELA 4th through 8th grade, ESL, and speech 7th through 12th grade. I have two daughters. The youngest is Ariana. She's going to be in the 3rd grade this year at Scarborough Elementary. And my oldest, Alexis, is going to be here at Folks in the 7th grade. I have a chocolate lab named Bailey. And in my free time, I like reading, traveling, and relaxing and watching TV. I probably watch way too much TV. Here's a picture of my family and my dog, Bailey. Here are a few things that I really like, in case you're interested. For school supplies, I love colorful pens. I'm a big agenda writer, and I like to write in different colors in my agenda. And when I take notes for work, I do that in different colors as well. I don't know, it's just something I've always liked. I love shopping when I can, and some of my favorite stores to go to are Target, Bath and Body Works, Michaels, and Hobby Lobby. And then when I'm at home relaxing, I tend to go on Amazon quite a bit and do some shopping on there. I love pumpkin spice lattes. So when the fall season comes and they have those at Starbucks, I'm probably there every other day getting some pumpkin spice lattes. And when the season is over, I stick to the green iced teas. Those are my favorites. I am not a big fan of cooking. I cook because I have to. If I can go out to eat, I prefer it. And so these are some of the restaurants that I like to eat at: Cheesecake Factory, Panera, Chipotle, and Chick-fil-A. Probably the same places that you like to eat. And then I am a big snacker. Oh my goodness, I'm always stuffing my face with snacks. And so these are just some of the snacks that I like to eat. I wanted to bring your attention to the bell schedule because it is different from last year. It changed slightly, and it's also different from what is in your agenda. If you've had a chance to check out the agenda that you picked up from the school, one of the first few pages has the bell schedule. Well, after those were printed out, they did have to make some adjustments to the bell schedule. And so this schedule that you see here on the screen is the most accurate one. So you want to make sure that you're referring to these times when you're planning out your day. So now let me tell you a little bit about the two courses that you're going to be taking with me. The first semester, which is how we're starting the school year, is in a class called Communication Applications, or Comm Apps for short. So in Communication Applications, we focus on giving speeches, right? Learning how to communicate effectively, especially in front of an audience. And you will learn all about the proper way to give a speech. You're going to learn all about the elements, everything you need to know. And it's not only communicating in person in front of an audience, but you're also going to learn how to properly communicate digitally. That's also important. Our second semester is called MAPS. MAPS stands for Methodology of Academic and Personal Success. So in MAPS, what we're going to be focusing on are things like career planning and stress management, taking proper notes, study skills, organization, things like that. This is a copy of our syllabus for the first semester for communications, and you will be able to find this in Schoology. I will have a section towards the top of Schoology where you can find all of the important documents of this class, and the syllabus will be in there. And all of this information that's on here, I'm going to be discussing in this video. All right, so let's talk about our class expectations. Actually, there are two sets of expectations. This first one is when we're meeting virtually, which will probably be for the first few weeks, right? So these are probably the same types of expectations that you are going to see not only for my class, but for most classes. And so it's important that you are following these expectations. The first one is have your microphone muted. Unless you are speaking or presenting, your mic should be muted so that we can hear those of us that are talking on the computer at the time. 2, have your camera on and arranged so we can see your face. I do not want you logging into class and having your camera off or your camera, faced up to the roof or to the wall so that I cannot see you. I want to make sure that I can see you so I know that you are, number 3, actively participating. Number 4 is very important. Respect others' ideas and opinions, especially in this class, because we are going to be presenting in front of our peers, and so we want to make sure that when someone is speaking, that we are very respectful to them. And then finally, raise your hand to let me know when you want to speak, when you have something to say. So these next set of expectations are for when we meet in person. So I'm going to wait until we have that opportunity to meet together in class, and then we'll go over those expectations together. All right, so let's go over now some materials that you're going to need for this class, and I think pretty much for all your classes. All right, so the first is very important. Make sure that you have some kind of technology device so that you can log on and participate in your classes, whatever that might be. Some of you are using Chromebooks, laptops, iPads, whatever it is, make sure that you have those available and that they're fully charged so that you can participate. Number 2, your school issued agenda. All students at Folks this year were given an agenda. And so one of the things that you're going to be asked to do in all of your classes is to make sure that you're filling that agenda out for all of your classes, math, ELA, social studies, all of them. They're expecting you to write something in your agenda every day for that class. Now, for my class, for communication applications, on Fridays, I'm going to ask you to show me proof that you've filled out your agenda completely, and you will receive a grade in my class for filling out your agenda. The other thing on here is your supply pouch. So let me explain this. In years prior, you guys were able to borrow supplies from the teacher. If you came to school and you needed a pencil, you needed paper, whatever the case might be, and you didn't have it available, you were able to borrow it from the teacher. We're no longer able to do that. So when we come back on campus, make sure that you have a little pouch or maybe a little box that has these supplies that you normally would use, right? Pencils, pens, scissors, glue, tape, highlighters, whatever you usually use in class, make sure you have your own supplies. And then finally, headphones with a mic for your personal use. The headphones help you concentrate on what's going on in the computer and not what's going on around you, right? It kind of like cancels out that background noise. And the mic helps us on the other end of the computer to focus on you and what you're saying, and it kind of cancels out that background noise as well. So those are some of the materials that we're recommending that you have for this class and really for all your classes. All right, so the attendance policy is extremely important, especially for this class. I'm not sure if you're aware, this is a high school credit class. So if you successfully complete communication applications and maps, you will leave this school year with a high school credit. And what you see here is the attendance policy for that high school credit. So it's not just a matter of making sure that you're maintaining your grades and that you have good grades to get the credit. Attendance matters. So what this document basically is saying is that any class that you're taking that is a high school credit, whether it's Comm Apps or Avid 1 or Art 1 or Spanish or Algebra 1, those are all high school credit classes. So in order for you to be able to get the high school credit for it, you need to make sure that your attendance meets the requirement. Now, this year, they're requiring that you have no more than 8 absences per semester, meaning semester 1, communication applications, you are only allowed to miss a total of 8 days, no more than that. Semester 2, you're not allowed to miss more than 8 days. So what happens if you miss more than 8 days, then you fall into something called attendance recovery, which means that you have to make up that time that you missed in order to be able to get that high school credit. And I also want to point out that it doesn't matter if it's an excused or unexcused absences. An absence is an absence. And so you want to make sure that you stay under the 8 so that you don't have to worry about attendance recovery to get that high school credit. All right, so here are some of the applications that we're going to be using a lot this school year. The district has decided to use Schoology, the learning management system, as a learning management system. And so if you have not had a chance to go in and check it out, here are two different tutorials that you can use. The first one is a YouTube video. If you click on the link, it will take you to this little handy dandy video that kind of explains you and talks you through it. And then another resource that I really like is this Schoology tour, which is a Google slide that was created by one of our teachers here. And she kind of walks you through and explains everything. So I have those there available for you to check out. Another application we're going to be using a lot in this class is called Flipgrid. So if you have not had an opportunity to use Flipgrid in the past, I recommend that you click on this link here, and it's going to take you through a tutorial that's going to help you understand what Flipgrid is and how to use it. All right. So as I said before, Schoology is something that we're going to be using a lot this year. The district is going to generate your courses for you. So when you log in, you should already have all of your classes there. But if for whatever reason you need the access code for this class, this is where you can find them. Just make sure that when you're putting in the access codes that you're putting in the one to the correct period. So for example, if you're in my first period, make sure that you're using that access code that's next to first period, okay? And then same thing with Flipgrid. Every class period has its own link for Flipgrid, and I will make sure that those are embedded into the assignments when you need to do them. All right, so tutoring schedule. Right now, and this is subject to change, we are going to do Monday afternoons and Wednesday mornings, and obviously this is going to be virtual. So if you need an afternoon tutoring session, it will be Mondays 4:15 through 4:45 p.m. And then Wednesday mornings, if you need mornings, are 8 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. And if these times change, days and times, I will definitely let you know. Here's my contact information in case you need to reach out to me for anything, my email, and then if you need to call me here at work, that is our direct line, and my extension is 3229. And then finally, here are some handy district websites that I recommend that you have if you need them. The first is our school's website. Anything specific to folks, information that you need to know will be found here on the school's website. If you're a Twitter follower, here's our handle at NISD Folks. And if you're on Facebook, I highly recommend that you like the Folks PTA. They have a lot of good information on there as well. All right, guys, well, I cannot wait until I get to meet you guys. This is going to be a great year. It's going to be different, but it's going to be great. All right, see you later.